Hey everyone, I'm Luke, and in this video I'm going to show you how I replaced the wooden spoke railing on my deck with cable wiring, also to enjoy the trees and the creek behind our house more. This video is applicable if you're using a 4x4 pressure treated wood. If you're using metal posts, those tend to come in 2x2s and are pre-drilled. Metal posts may save you time with your installation. They do tend to cost more, so you really need to measure your deck, figure out the aesthetic you're looking for, and how much time you want to devote to your deck project to figure out the most cost-efficient path forward. I use two different kinds of fasteners for my deck. There are the hidden fasteners that look like this. They come in two different parts, the fastener as well as the invisible receiver. These aren't practical for your staircase, which requires a more flexible swivel option. Those are called adjustable angle turnbuckles. They do save you time with, you don't have to drill any holes with them, so they are a time saver that way, but they do tend to cost 2 or 3 times more than the invisible receivers. There's lots of different options out there. Take a look online and see what works best for you. You'll also need a whole bunch of different hardware for your cable installation. You're gonna want a power drill, 2 different drill bits, a 1/4 inch for your cable wire, and the 3/8 inch for your invisible receivers. For the wiring itself, I used a 3/16 cable wire. I needed about 500 feet of this for my 12 by 14 foot deck. These also come in a 1/4 inch and 1/8 diameters. You need to be really careful reading the product descriptions of your attachment tools, the receiver tools, to make sure that they fit properly. You're also going to want these protector sleeves. These are the pass-throughs for your middle posts. You're going to need the drill guide. This is the lattice drill guide that helps you mark out where your drill holes are going to be so they're consistent on your posts. And you also are going to want this kind of drill guide from Mazuma, which makes sure that your drill holes go straight into the post. They also have angled options here for your staircase. You need your wire cutters, and this is a really important thing to keep in mind. Wear safety goggles when you're cutting this wire. It can act like a bullet when you actually snap the wire. So you definitely want these to protect your eyes, full coverage glasses if possible. And the last thing you'll need is a crimping tool. You're going to use this on the receiver to put you're going to end up putting the wire into the receiver here, and then you're going to end up crimping this. That's what keeps it secure in place. Once the wires are in your posts, you're going to use an Allen wrench to tighten the invisible receiver. You can either use your fingers or a flathead pair of pliers to tighten it. You'll find yourself doing that the first few months of your installation. To begin the cabling process, you want to use the lattice easy railing drilling template to ensure your holes are consistently spaced. Once you have your post mark, use your 1/4 inch drill and make your drill holes. Repeat this for each side of your posts and your corner posts. For your end posts, you will want to swap out the bit to the 3/16 inch bit for the hidden receivers. You can make these drill holes either before or after you've installed your posts, with the exception of the post closest to the frame of your house. You will need to have those posts pre-drilled and have your hidden receivers installed before you install the post, because you won't have space to insert the hidden receivers afterwards. Since you'll have the cable running in 2 overlapping directions at your corners, be sure there's a minimum of a 1/2 inch difference in the height of your drill holes. Once your posts are drilled and installed, you need to measure each of your cable lengths and mark your cutting points using a black or red marker. You may want to have someone hold onto the other end of the wiring with a tape measure for your longer cuts. Once marked, use the cable cutters to cut the wire. Always check your first cut to make sure the wire you've cut is correct between your 2 posts. Once you've confirmed the length is correct, you can use that first wire to measure your additional cuts. Once your wires are cut, you use a crimping tool to secure the cable to the invisible receiver. The crimping tool comes with multiple settings and has a valve on the side which allows you to either crimp or release. Use the crimping tool twice, once at each end of the receiver, to secure the cable. From there, you insert the receiver into the posts and attach it to the sewage stud ends at each end of the deck. Be sure to add the protector sleeves for your pass-through posts. Use the Allen wrench and flathead pliers to tighten. Repeat for each wire, leaving some slack until all the wires are installed. Tighten the wires alternately, starting from the middle and working your way up and down. You will need to do this repeatedly at first. You will find that the cabling requires some additional adjusting every 3 to 6 months as the wires continue to straighten out over time. For the stairs, the only holes you need drilling into the posts are for the screws securing the turnbuckles. The spacing for these will be dependent on how low your first cable is to each step. This time, use the angled beveled 45-degree protector sleeve for your pass-through posts. Once the cables are installed, use the nuts and the turnbuckle to tighten the cables, again starting from the middle and working your way up and down. And that's how I was able to do the cable wire installation. It definitely took a while to get all the cables in, but we're really happy we were able to stain the wood posts in the same color as the deck frame, something that the metal posts wouldn't have offered. Again, a breakdown of the materials and costs are available at our website, eyecatcherliving.com. I've included a link to that website below in the description. If you like this video, you might also enjoy watching how I remodel a deck and install natural wood lattice around the deck frame. Feel free to comment below. And if you want to keep up with our other renovation projects, please feel free to subscribe and like below. Thanks for watching.